Anyway, you were saying fascistic.
Well, speaking of fascistic regimes,
Sure.
how about we head over to the other side of the world, where Israel just decided to
my
bomb yet another
Just-
head of state.
Just assassinate another world leader or
Bro.
another, country leader.
Imagine we're just sitting here, right? You're the fucking head of the German state having a coffee with her family members, and suddenly a fucking drone strike hits the head of the German leadership. The world would be at a dead stop. But because it's a Yemeni, and because the Yemeni people who are right now being represented by the Houthis, nobody gives two fucks.
Yeah.
They killed the head of the Iranian government. They killed multiple heads of the Lebanese Hezbollah movement. And now they just struck down another leader of another country.
Mm-hmm.
Of another country. Right? And so the whole thing with the Houthis and the Yemeni government at the current point in time is they're blockading any ships flowing to Israel from the Red Sea in protest of the genocide that is being going on. Right? And so what they did, and I think this has something to do with trying to get people's eyes off of Gaza and onto something else, even if it's a short amount of time. They basically assassinated another head of state.
Yep.
Right? Which on its own is literally a war crime according to the Nuremberg trials. Right? You cannot attack another country without it being a completely defensive strike.
Yeah.
They did it.
Al-Rahawi was his name.
Yes. A complete offensive strike to the people in Yemen. That is absolutely absurd. And I wouldn't be surprised in the coming days if the Yemeni government turn around and be like, this is all out war now.
Well, did you see that the Houthis stormed the UN, 2 UN buildings in
I did not.
In the Yemeni capital in Sana'a, and are like camping out? They've detained all the staff there, and like they have them. It's just like the Iran took in the 79 or whatever
American embassy.
Yeah, they basically just did.
Yeah.
The Houthi rebels currently hold 2 UN buildings in Sana'a. Sana'a? I don't know how to pronounce that word. It's the Yemeni capital. The offices of the office. Well, see, the problem is they're not like the villains here, the people that they have detained. It's the World Food Program and the United Nations Children's Agency.
What's
UNICEF.
the point, man? What is the UN going to do?
Yeah, so like they've entered by local security forces, yada yada. W staff members saying it's a member of UNICEF staff members. So like the United Nations Special Envoy for Yemen confirmed that at least 11 UN personnel are being detained, adding that he strongly condemns the detentions as well as the forced entry into UN premises. So yeah, Houthis have basically like broken into the UN buildings in Yemen and taken them over. And apparently they still have, this was as of a day ago, so I don't know if they're still like holding these people captive in
What's
these
the point, man?
buildings.
That's just a bad move in my opinion.
I don't think you should.
What's the point of that?
Because these people are also like, these are the people that are giving out food, and like the UNICEF is like helping children's fund. It's just children's fund.
I don't understand the point.
I don't know. That one's not that great, but I normally support the Houthis and kind of what the Houthis are doing, but
no, that's just a bad. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the UN's attention, but the UN never fucking cared. What has the UN done? What did the UN do in any other fucking genocide? Right?
Well, I don't know. I think that's a reason to like attack the UN, is like to call them out of like, your hypocrisy and your inaction has caused this. Therefore, you should be a victim in this as well. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I just like the very specific people they have are
I
are like one of the handful of groups within the UN network that are actually helping people.
No, 100%. I agree. But here's the thing. It's like at this point in time is like, what if Yemen fully goes all out war with Israel? Because any other country that had their prime minister, their president assassinated by another country, that is a call to all out war. I mean, imagine if somebody like say it's 2009 and Obama gets murked by some drone strike from, I don't know, Venezuela. We would be in Venezuela within 30 minutes. We would have troops down on the ground 30 minutes. So if Yemen decides to go all out war with Israel, the allies of Yemen, allies of the Houthis, is Iran.
Yeah.
It's either they're just trying to distract people, or it could be both, right? Don't get me wrong. They're trying to distract people from the ongoing starvation campaign that they are conducting in Gaza, or they're trying to basically start a world war. Because if Iran gets involved, Hezbollah gets involved, the US is going to get involved. It's an all-out war.
It's another like massive like regional war in the Middle East with all
what else do they have to do? It's not just like a region. This is going to be like honestly a world war, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're including like America and America's allies, depending on how much. I mean, like I don't know. This is not 2001 to 2005 or whatever, right? I don't see like a world where like France would support troops to like
no,
or England. You know what I mean? Like England and France. And
I think
like,
most countries
and
would
a dozen other countries, you know, to varying degrees, committed troops to the original like what was it called Enduring Freedom or whatever, like the original Iraq and Afghanistan invasions. There were a lot of British, French, whatever troops there, right? There was like 14 countries or whatever. I don't think they would do that again. I think like France has kind of eased off it. France has recognized Palestine. England is still kind of like wishy-washy, but like I just don't think that they would commit.
It would be the U.S.
But that's my point. It would be a bunch of regional players and the U.S.
Yes.
Is that a world war? I don't know.
It's definitely like a massive regional war.
It depends on if Russia comes in with Iran, if China comes in with
It has
Iran.
the chance to become a world war.
Sure.
I saw this soccer game, this football game. It was in the African Cup, right? So the Africa, just like, you know, any other continent has like their biannual cup for every 4 years they'll have their cup for like the Africa or for Europe or whatever. It was like Algeria playing was it quarterfinals or semifinal? I can't remember. But anyways, Algeria was playing another country, and the Algerian fans, and the president of Algeria was there. The Algerian fans were basically yelling, it's like, what are you doing? Because like, why are you not helping? It's like, send us into Israel. Like the fans were saying, send us into Israel. Send us into Israel. Like send like the people of Algeria, military soldiers into Israel.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, if something like that happens, what if like a lot of these Arab countries are
North and East Africa would pop off? Yeah.
It's just like, okay, that's enough. Like, dude, I mean, half North Africa pops off, half the Middle East, and that'd be crazy, man. That'd be absolutely crazy. And it's just like, what I can't still figure out what the point to all of that was. What did they solve? Because the prime minister is just going to be replaced by somebody else. They already
it wasn't, and we should also say it wasn't just prime minister. It was a handful of.
It was a lot of their cabinet members
like,
as well.
cabinet, like the Yemeni officials. The Houthis have already struck back. They've blew up an Israel tanker. That was today, I think. Yeah, Houthis fire missile, and then I don't think they blew it up. Houthis fire missile at Israeli-owned tanker after prime minister killed. So this was just this is from this morning from Al Jazeera that they fired back. They've.
I think that's just the beginning to it. I think they're gonna have to if they do something like an all-out war with Israel.
Yeah,
I think it would have to be a lot more planned. They're not gonna just send people in. You know what I mean? It's gonna have to be more strategically planned. They don't have the resources that many countries do, like Iran. So they're gonna have to be very strategic about it. Maybe they're even behind the scenes right now with multiple countries in the Middle East planning on a full-on attack. I just don't understand what was the point to this. Like, why would you do that? Why would you incite so much violence? And there's only two things, again, what I can come to the point of like thinking could even be a viable option is just one. You're just trying to get people's gazes off Gaza.
I think that's probably the biggest reason.
Yeah, it has to be, man.
Also, Netanyahu quoted something like, this is what you get for being like an enemy of Israel or something like that. I'm misquoting him, but it was something to that effect. Of like, it was very much targeted, like just
it's like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like, how far does this have to go? And it just shows like history repeats itself, you know, whether it be Rwanda, whether it be Bosnia, whether it be World War II. Just the united community of the world doesn't do shit due to fucking politics, and the politics are controlled by the narratives of these Western countries, aka right now really just the US at this point, because even a lot of countries like France, Spain are just absolutely like completely, I think, blocked off trading with Israel. A lot of countries have completely blocked off.
Or they're in some on that spectrum somewhere like starting that process of like kind of.
I know a lot of countries have blocked off trading with the West Bank. Period.
Yeah. Well, that's what
illegal settlements.
That's what originally. That's what ended apartheid, right? It wasn't like a call for humanity. It was ultimately economic strangulation. It was embargoes and boycotts.
This is bigger than the South African apartheid, though.
Well, no, this is but I'm saying bigger. But that's what ultimately stopped it was economics. It wasn't like there wasn't ethical or moral, and that's sad to say, but like people didn't give a shit about like racism because it was, you know, the 80s and the 90s and like, you know, whatever, there's black people in South Africa. But what ultimately stopped South Africa and what ultimately rewrote the laws in South Africa and what changed things was economic strangulation.
Absolutely.
Once enough countries divested and stopped trading and put up trade embargoes with South Africa, then they were forced to.
Absolutely.
So that's like
But
history shows us that's what they require here.
Then there's like two things. One, the U.S. is never going to stop.
Fair enough.
The U.S. is never going to stop actually trading with Israel.
Yeah.
So they're going to get things, whatever Israel needs from other countries, and then they're going to ship it to Israel.
With their buzz buddy Trump, right? Like
exactly.
So long as Trump is in office, now.
But we can see North Korea survived, Cuba survived, Venezuela with all these sanctions was doing okay, right? So there's the ways to get around it.
Sure.
The problem is the U.S. supporting Israel.
Yeah.
If that stops, it's over, bro. It's Jover. There's no way this is going to continue on.
It's all over now.
It's going to be over. But that's never going to happen. I was like, how do we get this shit to stop? How do we get to the U.S.? And that's just not going to happen, right? Unless the U.S. government itself breaks down, ends up in a civil war or something like that.
Yeah, like unless we're so distracted. Did you see the movie Civil War?
It's just called Civil War.
It's just called Civil War. Came out a couple years ago.
I don't think so. No.
It's good.
Yeah? What's it about?
It's about the U.S. Civil War. It's good. It's an A24 movie. It's really great. It came out a couple years ago, or maybe last year even. It's really cool. It's just like it doesn't really give you any backstory. It's just about a photojournalist traveling across the country. She's trying to get from like, I forget where she's trying to go. She's trying to go from like New York to D.C. or something, or maybe long. I forget where she's trying to go. Oh no, she's trying to get to D.C. because the president's going to surrender. Who's Nick Offerman is the president.
Yeah,
and he's like the villain, but he's not really in it. And it's Kristen Dunst is the photojournalist, and like it's basically just them trying to cross through like war-torn America. There's 3 different factions. It's like the Republic of California and Texas have teamed up, and then it's like the North.
Oh, okay, so it's not like
no. But I mean, it's like very much like.
Is it like supposed to be in modern?
No. It's a modern. Times? No, it's like
okay.
It's just like it doesn't really explain how or why it started, but it's basically just like a modern civil war is broken out. And for whatever reason, California and Texas have seceded and they've joined forces.
Oh yeah.
And now there's like the Florida Association, so it's just like Florida's trying to do its own thing, and then there's like
I don't see Texas or Florida doing that.
Well, that's the thing.
I see
like
California.
It's very like
they don't need anybody
hypothetical.
Else. Right? They don't need anybody
but
else.
It's like a really like dark and like weird movie, and it's just like we should check it out. It's really good. It's fucked up.
I think Washington should just secede and go into what's it called, Canada, and just join Canada.
What was that called? Cascadia.
Well, Cascadia is like the idea of Washington State, Oregon,
and Northern California,
and British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
And the Northern California.
Yeah.
People in Northern California wouldn't want that because they want their own state called Jefferson, and they're a bunch of Republicans.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So no, I'm thinking just Western Washington breaks off and joins Canada.
Well, let's talk about one more thing and then close this out, which is the like famine in Gaza has now reached, and we haven't talked about Gaza for a little while. Like we haven't really given like much like deep dive update, but we talked a few months ago about how the summer would be like the break point of
Absolutely,
like it was speculated at the time, and this was maybe like last winter or like early this year even, but it was speculated that around the summer, I think it was July, August would be like that would be the break point for like the famine in Gaza.
Yeah.
Well, and as of August 22nd, it's officially like the UN has officially declared
a full-on
famine in Gaza. Now it's estimated that 500,000 ish people, more than half a million people are like have reached famine level, which there's like an actual definition to that. But like the famine has taken hold in Gaza, encompassing Gaza City, nearby areas. So like it has now been like officially announced that like there are like it's the deaths are now going, because that's what kills people, right?
It's so
in genocides
sad,
that's where like the bulk of deaths come from. And even in like from tanky perspectives of like Mao's Cultural Revolution or like the Holodomor, like Stalin, whatever, like it's in India, in any example, right? It's famine that really ramps the death count up. And that's,
exactly.
I think because like 10% ish of Gazans have died. There's approximately 2 million population. It's estimated.
So if 10% of the thing about that, if there's 10% of 2 million people that die, it's 200,000.
And that's what
people.
that's what some people are estimating the death toll is at, like give or take, right? Because some people are saying 50,000, but that number's been 50,000 for a year.
No, that's bullshit.
Obviously, that's bullshit.
No, that's 100%
real people
bullshit.
real numbers are saying it's probably closer to around 200,000, which is just 10% of the Gazan population has been murdered or killed, right? Well, now you have what remains of that is 25% of the original population, which is closer to like 33% of the remaining population, is now post starvation is now past the starvation point. So you now have a third of the surviving population, give or take, has now reached famine
Somebody
levels.
has to fucking pay for this shit, bro.
Yeah, and so like this is the extermination of an entire people. It's like it's what Hitler wanted with the Jews, but is now like actually happening because like there's nobody intervening.
Yeah,
you know, like,
Hitler sped the fucking process up though. He just like,
yeah. I mean, obviously
it's
not a 1-for-1 comparison.
But this is like this is their way of doing it. This is their way of doing it without being like we're just actively like just murking people. It's just like no, black out all media in Gaza, black out all information coming out of Gaza, and just starve them to death.
But not for nothing. If you know your history, it followed this exact same trend: individual killings. And then that was too slow. So then the Nazi Party of the Third Reich tried starvation, like walling off ghettos and just trying starvation. That moved too slow. And then their third phase was then death camps, like the concentration camps and death camps. So like it's following the same trend.
It is.
Individual bombings and shootings, then starvation.
It is.
And then once that moves too slow to get rid of the population, you then have to ramp that up to move to death camps. And that was the path. That was the exact playbook that Hitler used, and it's so far we're at the same stage 2 of 3 that Gaza is dealing with.
It's 2025 people. Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
What is this? It's like it's disgusting, right? I just like how is nobody's blood boiling? Like I'm like if we didn't have the government tracking every move,
yeah,
right? I would just like. What I would be saying is a little different than I'm always saying on the podcast. I have a bit more even revolutionary and radical things than I say on the podcast because we have to shut the fuck up because
we got our TikTok live got taken down.
Yeah, I mean
calling Trump a P.
Well, no, we didn't. We were just talking like we normally talk.
Right, but I'm saying if we said the things that we're in our actual hearts, we would be arrested. So we can't really do that. I don't know. I didn't want to bring it down to like a sad level, but I just wanted to call that out.
It's realistic, man. We have to be real.
But I will say that like the bright side of that is, which obviously doesn't help anything, but I think it was like Pokepreet shared on his channel. I think it was, or somebody on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok shared that like the amount of money raised by PCRF, the Palestinians Children Relief Fund. Broke like a huge milestone, like broke like a couple $1 million or something raised for PCR. I forget the actual number, but it was a big milestone. So like that was cool to see, but obviously it's not enough, right? So this is just another call to arms. We have the PCRF website in our bio as well. Yeah. Please donate, give something to the
maybe
starving.
Yemen just needs to like go like
yeah, I mean they invaded Iraq in the first Gulf War because of what Hussein did to Kuwait, right?
Yeah.
This is worse than that. So, like, where's the invasion now? Like, where's the coalition forces?
Well, it doesn't help their fucking.
There's no oil, I guess. Yeah, but
it doesn't help their back end.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff with Saddam Hussein was half bullshit and half real. You know,
right?
Yes,
but
he was a ruthless fucking human being that was killing people.
Yeah, like, but
right?
like actual people.
But they don't care about that. They don't care about brown people killing brown people. What they care about is resources, right?
Yeah.
And so
maybe that's what it was.
Excuses.
This is white people killing brown people, so they don't care.
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Exactly. So it's the same thing. White, brown blood. That's not the problem. Who cares? Bunch of brown
on brown, we can intervene.
Like
brown on white, we can intervene. But white on brown, don't got to frown.
Yeah, exactly.
Brown on brown, no. I can't think of a rhyme, but yeah, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The point is, it's fucked. It's super fucked. And I wanted to just. I would be remiss if I didn't mention like kind of the deteriorating situation. And this winter is supposedly going to be the worst it's seen. Obviously, every next season is always going to be the worst it's seen. But they're saying specifically because of the famine combined with winter brings disease, and that's like respiratory outbreaks, flu, the influenza. It could because when you're malnourished, your immune system is shot. It's very weak. So the flu and diseases and just different kind of respiratory infections and influenza and stuff is going to just rampage through these refugee areas and through these places in Gaza. So that number is going to skyrocket in terms of deaths because of the famine. So, but I mean, yeah, the official count is still like at 54,000 or something, and it's been stuck at there since like literally like last October. It's been almost a year, I think, of like 54,000. So obviously that's
54,000. That's bullshit, and you know damn well it's bullshit. Every single day.
I'm gonna check it out with
TikTok,
the official Gethel.
Instagram, Twitter, whatever you open, you see people literally like skin and bones.
As of September 1st, today, they report 63,000. But that's just.
Oh man, there is way more than that. It's minimum 150 to 200,000.
That must just be only like military casualties, like actual deaths attributed to bombing and
like strikes
and
and
bullets.
stuff.
Yeah, not disease or.
But we all know
missing.
that, like, especially in most historical warfare moments, most people died from disease.
Yeah,
like World War I.
Yeah, famine and disease is what, like, even in, like, up to and including, like, Vietnam, I think, like, malaria killed more.
Malaria killed
I'll
a
have
lot
to
of
double
people.
check that fact. I'm not 100% sure that's true.
But yeah, man, the famine and the diseases and just malnourishment with your immune system dropping, and especially when you're basically in a fucking locked cage like Gaza is, when somebody catches something, it starts spreading like a wildfire. And if all of their immune systems are down because they're all malnourished and basically starving, they're gonna drop like fucking hotcakes. So, Jesus Christ, I hate that term, but like that's basically what's gonna happen. We're gonna hit a certain point, probably sometime in November, late November, and there's just going to be so many people catching, whether it be COVID, the flu, and people are just going to start dying at high rates. And there needs to be something to stop this, because if this continues on, I mean, I want here's the last thing that I want to talk about before we head out. There's been news not only from that recently, but like from a while ago, that Trump was talking about basically developing high resort AI facilities and casinos and stuff in Gaza. And he's talking about basically manually and forcefully evicting people to move out of Gaza. So he can place all these things. And if they don't want to move, they'll be concentrated into certain sectors where they don't have the option of basically leaving, aka in a concentration camp, as if Gaza already isn't like one large concentration camp. And that they're going to basically forcefully evict people out. And that's what we call ethnic cleansing.
Literally the definition.
That is literally the definition of ethnic cleansing. And the president of the United States openly said it, laughing, that they're going to build high quality resort casinos and shit.
It's just insane.
Where Gaza is. My blood fucking boils, not only for what they're doing to people, but because of my past history of my people. And it makes me sit here and I'm like, dude, where are these people that are like, just, I don't want to get fucking banned off this goddamn platform.
Bleep, bleep, bleep. Where are the bleep, bleep, bleep?
Yeah.